Hello there, welcome back to the potting shed. Today I'm going to be potting up some Monstera cuttings that I took a good few months ago now. I've been growing them on in water. I took this from a Monstera plant that I had in my movie room. It wasn't doing particularly well there, and I always wanted the large form Monstera, and when I finally managed to get my hands on one, I decided basically to chop this plant off, take the mature leaves and make some cuttings out of them, which I'm doing now. And so it's my neighbour's birthday today, and I know that she particularly took an interest in these cuttings last time she was over, so I thought I would pot these up and send one over the road for her birthday. I thought that might be quite a nice thing to do. So I thought, as I'm going to be doing it in the potting shed, I would bring you along and show you what I'm doing if you're remotely interested, and we'll chat about a few things along the way. So all I've done is literally take these cuttings off at a node. Here's a recent one that I did on another plant. As you can see, I just chopped it below a node. We've got an aerial root here as well, and then just stick it in the water, and then over time it will grow some roots. I think there is already a beginning of a root coming on there. So they're going to stay in the water. They were taken later. These are the older ones. Look at all that root. I wonder if I can separate these, or whether they're going to have to be one big blood, which is no bad thing. Might be quite nice. I think I'm just going to... Can you see what I'm doing here? Just trying to figure this out as I go. I think I'm just going to cut this aerial root off because it's really long and just in the way. Just going to cut it back a bit. There's plenty more root growing on it, so we are not short for root. Now I'm just looking, I could get several plants out of this, but do I want to really mess about with it? I think it's a nice size plant as it is. You know what, it might be just as easier to pot the whole thing up as a nice big plant, you know. I've got these few other cuttings here if I want them for another place, so I think I'll do that. I think I'll just leave it. It would be a bit of a pain to untangle all that anyway. It's all grown in together, lots of lovely healthy roots, but I think it's quite nice. There's quite a lot of mature leaves on there, so I think that will make a nice plant. So let's just pop this on here for a minute. I've already decided on a pot down here. I thought we've got this nice sort of tin pot here, and this inner pot fits in there perfectly, so I thought I might plant it into there. It's a good size, and that way the pot stops short by about an inch or a couple of centimeters, so when it's watered, the water can run through and can be tipped away. So I don't like planting directly in a pot if I can help it, because it's harder to control the water. Right, so what I think I'll do, if that will sit there on its own for a minute, so I've just got some generic Westland potting compost that I found under the bench. I'm going to take my watch off, don't really want to get it dirty, put it in my pocket, don't let me forget it's there. Right, the next thing I want to do is just try it for size and see where it looks like in the pot. I think that's pretty much spot on. It's pretty much in line. These are going to be aerial roots, so they're going to want to wander out of the pot anyway. And the rest of the roots I want to be able to tuck down into the soil carefully. Obviously be very careful when handling the roots, because you don't want to break them. But they've just been going wherever they wanted in the water. So just going to tease them back in the downward direction and just leave these aerial roots just on the surface. You can tell the aerial roots because they're bigger, fleshier, and they generally grow up. Right, so I think that's okay. It's kind of centralized in the pot, so I'm just going to backfill around it. Now it's important to remember this has been growing in 100% water for the last few months, so it's going to be adapted to that environment. So now we're moving it over into a soil-based environment. It's important to give it plenty of water whilst it adapts. So what I like to do is water way more than you would do normally and keep the soil really rather wet for the first sort of month or so, because it will need that extra moisture to be able to take it up, and then you can slowly decrease the amount of water. But to begin with, that's what it will need. What I'm also going to do, just to help with the drainage, is just going to put a little bit of horticultural grit in there. Looks like that. Just going to mix that in. And what that does is break up the soil a little bit, allow the water to filter through the soil, and as that happens it's going to bring oxygen and air through, and that's what the roots need to stay healthy and vigorous, is oxygen and moisture into the roots. So if we just tickle a bit of that in there as well, give it no harm at all. Just give it a tap down every now and again to make sure all the soil is getting down around the roots. I can get away with being a little bit messy here because I'm in the potting shed and I can just clear it up afterwards. If you're doing this in your house, then probably want to put some newspaper down or something and just generally be a bit more careful. So the other thing I like to do is just get something like this garden cane or a chopstick or something that you can just poke down the side of the pot and just work your way around the root ball. But what this does, this just helps work the soil into and around the roots, because there'll always be little pockets where the soil hasn't made contact with the roots. And what we're trying to do is get all of the soil to make contact with the roots. So just take your time and gently give it a prod around the pot, and as you do that it will loosen up, and you'll notice that the soil level will slowly start to go down as it falls in between the roots. Sort of push it down, give it a little wiggle around. You can see that. Push it in, wiggle, push it in, wiggle, that sort of thing. Take your time, there's no rush for this, try not to be too aggressive. And you'll feel it suddenly go down and free up some space as you do this. It's going to rain. It's been very windy here in Suffolk in the UK over the last week. I know that wishing the weather was different is the absolute definition of futility, and I try not to be unhappy with whatever the weather's doing, because it is whatever the weather's doing. We need all the different types of weather, but I don't like it when it's dark and rainy and windy. I'm working on acceptance, trying to accept things as they are. That way, stay a little bit more content, because it will be windy and rainy at some point, and it probably will snow at some point, and it will be sunny and hot at some point. So to accept things however they are is to be free of suffering in that moment. Acceptance. It's a very useful trait. I think that's all right, you know. What do you think? I think it's reasonably central. How's it look? Got those lovely big fenestrated leaves, and hopefully we'll get more mature leaves coming up from the top here, because these were cuttings taken from the top of the Monstera plant. If you take cuttings from further down the Monstera plant, you often get immature leaves, so the plain ones without these slits, and these slits are called fenestrations, and generally they happen on mature leaves when you've also got plenty of daylight as well. If you don't have much light and it is a young plant, then you won't get it. As it grows up, you'll get them. And the reason for them is, in its native environment, there will be light coming down, and because they're relatively big leaves, they would potentially shade out the leaves below them. So over time they've developed these fenestrations to allow light to pass through and actually hit the leaves below them, because this is a climbing plant. So nature is very smart and figures this all out for themselves, which is remarkable. And I find them very interesting plants. Just have a bit of the jungle in your home. I think they're lovely. So I think we've made a very nice plant here. I might just trim off some of these tiny little bit of dry edges to the leaves that happened when it was originally in its natural environment. It was getting a little dry in my movie room. I've solved that problem with a humidifier now, but I'll talk more about that on another update video, because that's gone really well in there recently with an addition of a grow light and some extra humidity. It looks really like a jungle in there, so I'm very happy. So I'll do an update about that in the coming week or so, so make sure you're subscribed to the Houseplant Hacks channel to see that one, because it really looks pretty cool. I think that'll be a nice gift, don't you? And hopefully it will grow on for many years to come and my neighbour will enjoy it. Alright, I think that's just about it. I thought I'd just bring you along whilst I did this little job in the potting shed. I hope you're all doing well, and I'll catch you very soon on another video. Bye for now.